have challenges of wildlife going out in the communities. We engage the communities to help us chase the animals back into the park and also to put out the fire so that we don't have the entire place burned down. Their involvement is very key because this park was set aside by the communities and they value the wildlife within, knowing that this is the only resource they have for themselves and therefore they are able to generate revenue from it. Together they've also helped us to set aside places for tourism developments like hotels and lodges. And because they believe that this resource is theirs, they are able to gain employment from it. And 90% of the staff we have in this park all come from the community. And this has also helped us to build a good rapport with them. Many of the schools they have are from wildlife support. They also have sport hunting programs where we've had some students sponsored for education using the money for wildlife. We also have water supply to the communities. Like now, our neighbors here in Karenga Community Wildlife Area, they don't have water. And because we have permanent sources of water from underground, we allow them to come and access water from us. We've also supported another community in Lokori to do the same. So with this money from revenue collected from the gates, they are able now to access good water which is not destroyed by the animals. We have several ambassadors from the communities. For instance, we have a community that is engaged in beekeeping. We provided beehives to them and allowed them to harvest honey so that they are able to sell it to their lodges and also to us as the park staff. We've also involved them, right now we are involving them in vegetable growing. You are aware that Karamoja at one time we have a very long dry spell and then we also have a short rainy season. So when we don't have the vegetables and the easy access to food, that means now we have to buy food from Kotido, we have to buy food from Kitgum or Kampala. But right now we've had a number of NGOs involving them in fish farming. We now also engaging communities in vegetable growing. In areas where we have permanent sources of wetlands, we are tapping into that water system so that they can have vegetables supplied across the year. There are also projects that are now demonstrating how to do hydroponics. Hydroponics, this is you put vegetables on a plate or on a tray, and they are able to get supply of water, but grown without soil. So this assures us that we don't have to go to Kampala to buy vegetables, but our communities are able to supply us. The other one we engage them into is the tree planting business. These the schools around, especially the boarding sections, don't have constant supply of firewood. And if we continue cutting the existing trees, then we are in trouble. So what we've done is that we are engaging them in energy conservation so that they are able to have a stable supply of energy within these schools throughout the town. They are a friendly society as long as you deliver to them what you have promised. You don't deliver, then you've provoked them into just like any other society in Kampala who demanding for their rights. They also demand for their rights. But otherwise they are good people, they love their culture, and they are good conservationists. One thing I know is that the culture for the Karamojongs is still as natural as any other settled community would have. And many of the tourists that come to Kidepo don't only look out for wildlife, but they also go out there to interact with the communities, to love the way the communities are settled in their nature status. You see, like in Kampala, we have almost every place is built up, but here you still have some areas where they are still as virgin as a forest would be. And the nature of accommodation they have allows you to know how transitions have come up. You have the built up areas, and then you have the natural homestead, natural African homestead, where you're able to go and experience the life of the Karamojong. What can the Karamojong do since morning till evening? You are a cattle keeper. How do you practice cattle keeping within Karamoja? How do you settle in those manyatas? How are they able to survive? So the tourists are able to go and interact with them, eat their food, and in the end, they receive revenue from them. The park itself, the land we have, has been officially given by the communities of Karamoja. In this way, they acknowledge that wildlife is part and parcel of them. The headquarters we have at Kidepo Conservation Area, the land has been offered by the communities, allowing us to stay with them so that we are able to respond to their needs effectively. Therefore, much of the revenue that is in Karenga district comes from wildlife. And because this is their biggest earning, they understand that wildlife is part and parcel of them, and therefore they're willing to preserve that wildlife. If we delay to respond to a case where wildlife has attacked an individual, of course, like any other society, your first instinct is the way you would react is like you've delayed to respond to them, or somebody is going to die. So, but one of the things we've done is that because we don't have a stable ambulance within the district, we use any other means available. And therefore we are always must ensure that we respond to them effectively. If they have made calls, you deploy and send people on time to be able to meet them before they become rowdy. I encourage the entire society of Uganda to preserve our environments, because we are naturally agriculturalists, and within these forests, God has given us everything within our forests. So it is important that we preserve our wildlife, we preserve our forests, so that we are able to maintain our ecosystems as God has given them to us. I also encourage Ugandans to come and visit Kidepo National Park. We have plenty of wildlife that is not in any other national park. Come and enjoy Karamoja. Karamoja is as peaceful as you have seen us in this territory. So if we are able to stay in Karamoja, that means Karamoja can accommodate everyone.
My name is Abitegeka Gerald, the Assistant Warden Law Enforcement of Kidepo Valley Conservation Area. The primary role of law enforcement officers in any conservation area is to ensure security around the park, property, wildlife is protected, all the resources of OA and government are protected. We monitor and enforce regulations related to for protection in terms of managing security within and outside protected area. We look at protecting wildlife both in and outside protected areas. That's one of the key roles of us managing these wildlife resources. The most common crimes related to wildlife here in Kidepo mostly we have got armed poaching into our neighbors of South Sudan. Then we also have warriors who crisscross within the conservation area, moving from point A to point B to raid cows of people. And also our own people within Karamoja also lay and trap animals with wire snares and wheel traps and some other small devices. There are different types of steps taken to combat illegal trafficking of wildlife species and animals. One is through a combined effort between UA and other sister forces, that is the UPDF, police, and the other crime officers. That is number one. Then number two is follow-up on regular patrols that are done in and outside protected areas to deter poachers entering into a wildlife protected area. Then also we use intelligence network to stop wildlife trafficking. The steps taken when we encounter and arrest poachers is number one is we take the particulars of suspect person arrested and report him to police with all the exhibits. Documentation is taken, statements are taken, and do official reporting of a suspect to police, and then the case file is produced and the person is produced to the courts of law. We collaborate with other forces by joint operations. That is number one. We operate together. Two, we also have intelligence that is connected between UA, UPDF, and police, and that's how we manage to combat wildlife crime within the area of Karamoja under Kidepo Valley Conservation. The related awareness is one-to-one conservation education. We go out in public to sensitize communities. We bring people, also cause people to Kidepo to come and see what we have. We make sure that they are in it. We combine, we collaborate, we work together to make sure that they understand the value of wildlife. And there they take lectures, they take lessons, they take programs, and some other people change with time. The Karamoja people, Karamajongo people are nice people. They actually don't overpoach like as you go to Southern Sudan. Karamoja people like animals. Actually, they can easily report to you when an animal is trapped. But the South Sudanese come with guns, they are armed. Now, these Karamoja people, we make sure that we bring them to understand the value of conservation. But besides the Karamajongo people, there are those other people who are dangerous, like the South Sudanese, the Dingas, those ones who come with guns. It becomes hard for us to relate with them because they are armed, we are armed. And definitely you understand what it means. When you're making an operation and you encounter an armed person, the answer remains within the field. Where we are here is our arms stores. It's where we have our arms, where when the soldiers want and are prepared, ready to go for an operation, they come and they draw their arms, and it is also acting as our wildlife product store to manage our own exhibits and our own trophies. My last word to the people, Ugandans, Africans, and the entire world is that I really call on them that security in Kidepo Valley is very tight, is okay, it's very calm. I call on the people to please come and check, see, visit, travel to Kidepo, look at the different type of valley that you normally hear Kidepo Valley. Other parks don't have other accusations, but Kidepo has got a valley. It is within, and it has all the necessary type of vegetation. Very flat, open, and you enjoy the scenery. So I urge the people to come, visit Kidepo, see the good scenery, see the animals, see the culture of the Karamajongo around, and let them pick some understanding and knowledge. But Kidepo is very peaceful. Taking a leaf of what recently happened in Queen Elizabeth, suspected ADF attacking and killing tourists and the tour driver. In Kidepo here, we have strengthened. We picked we have picked now a leaf that anything that happened in Queen Elizabeth can still happen in Kidepo Valley, and we have tightened security. That's number one. Now, number two, we have made sure that we do deployment. Deployment is on the ground. Number three, we have collaborated with the sister forces to ensure that what happened in Queen shouldn't again happen in Kidepo Valley Conservation Area. So we are trying to make sure that deployment is on anytime, any moment. And I really call on the tourists, please, that Kidepo is calm, Kidepo is peaceful, Kidepo is secure. We are on the ground to ensure that tourists enjoy their time, enjoy their nature, and have whatever they feel in Kidepo. We are there to protect them.
I am Okiring David Opokiro, Assistant Warden Tourism, Kidepo Valley Conservation Area. This park is, as said earlier, the park is 1,442 square kilometers, which is the entire Kidepo National Park, and is housing a number of animal species. We have got a better view, sceneries, very beautiful with big herds of buffaloes, and a number of animals that are really super. You cannot come here when you are annoyed and you go back when you are annoyed. You may come here, you go smiling. Therefore, whoever will wish to come to Kidepo should be ready to come and smile and laugh and forget and remove the stress that you have in your life. Because this is the only place that you can get big herds of buffalo that can count to 3,000 to 4,000 in one single group. So this is the place where you get the cats, big cats, like the lions, easily seen. You can get them feasting. We have got a number of things that you can see here. We have got a lot of activities that someone can do from here. In fact, we have got nature walks. You can do it here. You can do game drives. You can do hiking. We have the hills that you can hike from here. You can do community trips. You can go to the communities, experience dances, cultural dances that you may not find from anywhere in Uganda. You can only get it from here. It can be organized. We've got accommodation, very affordable accommodation, decent. It is pocket friendly. We have got a number of lodges inside the park and outside the park. You can also do the camping. We have got two types of camping. You can do wild camping, where you are just alone with your family and you continue doing your things. You can also have the one that we have established with the bandas, and then we give you the campfire, with the guide, then you enjoy the nature. You enjoy the calls of animals in the night, and you will be there alone. You'll have no stress. You'll have everything within yourself. And here in Kidepo, we have got already now operational lodges that are inside the park alone. We have got two, that's three. That's a poker lodge. We have cut room here where we are, and then we have a poker hostel. All these ones can accommodate clients in any number that they can come, but at least in a poker, we can accommodate as almost 100 people. In the cut room, currently, the operational rooms are like 15 that are operational, that can be checked in any client anytime. And please, you are most welcome to Kidepo.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.